Anyways, so where were we? Yeah, we can use let. For example, here we can use let and define multiple. For example, A is 5 and then B is 6, and then we can later on use that in our code or in the let block, let's say. And we can have multiple statements in the let block as well. For example, here I want to print first AB and then BA, and it should work fine now. Yeah, so we can use multiple statements in the let block, multiple expressions. For example, this is the first expression and this is the second expression. Okay. Okay, so we can override the default or global meaning. For example, by default, if I type plus 2 and 3, then the plus value or the plus symbol is associated with the plus function, which is defined in the Clojure.core namespace. So it will just add 2 and 3 and give us 5. But in let block, I can assign plus to the minus function, or I can send the minus function minus the value of the symbol minus, which will be a function, to the symbol plus, and then when I try to add 3 and 2 and 3, it would, instead of adding these, it would be 2 minus 3, which would be minus 1. And this would only affect in the local scope or the scope or the block in Clojure terms, or the block of the let condition or let form. So if I do that outside the let block, it will behave exactly like it was behaving before. Okay, so we can also use, for example, if I bound 3 to the value to the symbol cats, then I can use this cat symbol later on when I'm binding another symbol to some value. So they're basically now defining function that instead of using let and then x, which doesn't have a value, we can use a function here and then pass the value of x to that function, and it would behave the same way. Then we can use the value of x later on in the expression. And here it's an anonymous function, but if we say that it's in the user namespace, and here it's given a random function ID, I guess. But here if we look at the inc function, then it's in the code namespace and its name is, it's in the clojure.code namespace and its name or signature is this. Almost all verbs in Clojure are functions. Yeah. So here we are calling the ink function with the argument 2, and here we're calling this anonymous function which takes an argument, a single argument called x, and then adds 1 to that argument, and we're calling this function with 2 and it would increment this. This is basically the same as doing this. Let is evaluated immediately, whereas function is evaluated later when bindings are provided. For example, if I'm defining a function here, it won't be evaluated now, but it will be evaluated when I provide a value or argument to that function. This is a shorthand for writing a function. And I thought that this is used for writing regular expressions. Maybe this is also used for